The phone call came at midnight. Diana's voice was urgent, breathless. Sophia, I need you to listen very carefully. Don't panic. But you need to pack up the twins right now and drive to the nearest police station. Sophia sat up in bed, instantly awake. What? Why? What's happening? James knows where you are. He's on his way, and he's not coming to talk. How do you know? Because Marcus's private investigator has been tracking James for months. And Daniel just called me. James left the city 3 hours ago with two other men. They're driving to your location. They should arrive within the hour. Sophia's heart stopped. He's coming to take them. Yes, and we can't stop him unless you're in police custody when he arrives. If you're at a police station with the twins, he can't touch you, can't claim you kidnapped them, can't force a confrontation. But I'll have to surrender them to the state, to the system. Yes, but at least they'll be safe. At least James won't have them. Sophia looked at Lily and Noah, sleeping peacefully in their shared crib, unaware that their whole world was about to shatter again. I can't do this, she whispered. I can't hand them over to strangers. You don't have a choice. If James gets there first, if he takes them by force, we lose all legal standing. He'll claim he was rescuing his daughter from a kidnapper, and he might win. Let him come. I'll call the police when he arrives. Sophia. He has people with him, professionals. They're not going to knock politely and ask for the children. They're going to take them, by force if necessary. And you could get hurt. The twins could get hurt. Is that what you want? The thought of violence, of the twins being traumatized, of anything happening to these babies she'd sworn to protect. No, God, no. Then pack, now. Drive to the nearest police station. Call me when you get there. I'll have everything arranged. Diana, I'm scared. I know, but you're doing the right thing. The brave thing. You're protecting them the only way you can. Sophia hung up and moved on autopilot, packed a bag, dressed the twins in their warmest clothes, strapped them into car seats. They barely woke up, just fussed a little, and went back to sleep. She loaded everything into the car, took one last look at the house she'd been hiding in, and drove into the night toward a future she couldn't control. The police station was 40 minutes away. Sophia drove carefully, constantly checking her rearview mirror for headlights following her. Every car made her panic. Every shadow looked like James. It's okay, she whispered to the twins, even though they were sleeping. We're going to be okay. Your parents are coming home soon. They're going to fix everything. I just have to keep you safe until then. But as she drove, she couldn't stop thinking about what she was about to do. Hand these babies to the state, to strangers, to a system that would put them in foster care until Marcus and Ava were released. Months, possibly longer. Lily and Noah would forget her, would forget everyone who'd loved them, would grow up not knowing where they belonged. I'm so sorry, she whispered. I failed you, just like I failed Emma. I can't protect anyone I love. The twins slept on, innocent and trusting, and Sophia drove toward the moment that would break her heart completely. She arrived at the police station at 1:47 a.m., called Diana immediately. I'm here. Now what? Go inside. Tell them who you are. Tell them you're voluntarily surrendering custody of the Harrington twins to the state because you believe they're in danger from James Chen. And then Child Services takes over. They'll place the twins in emergency foster care tonight. Tomorrow we'll work on finding a long-term placement. somewhere safe, somewhere James can't find them. Will I be able to visit? Diana hesitated. Probably not. Not right away. You ran with them, Sophia. That complicates things legally. You might be investigated, charged even. So, I'm going to lose them completely. You're going to keep them safe. There's a difference. Sophia looked at the twins in the back seat, still sleeping, still peaceful. This was the last time she'd hold them, the last time they'd be hers to protect. Okay, she said, her voice breaking. I'm going in. Sophia, you're doing the right thing. Marcus and Ava will understand. They'll be grateful. I hope so, because right now it feels like the worst thing I've ever done. The police officers were kind but confused. You're voluntarily surrendering custody of children you don't legally have custody of. Yes, I was caring for them temporarily, but now they're in danger from their biological father. He's coming to take them by force. James Chen? Yes. How did you? We've been following the case. Everyone has. The officer looked at the twins, who were starting to wake up and fuss. These are really them? The Harrington babies? Yes, and they need protection. James Chen is dangerous. He violated their mother, created Lily through genetic manipulation. He has no right to them, but he's coming anyway. The officer made calls. Child services, a supervisor, Diana's office. Within an hour, the station was full of people. Social workers, lawyers, more police officers. And Sophia, sitting in a corner with Lily and Noah, trying to memorize everything about them before they were taken away. The way Lily grabbed her finger when she was scared. The way Noah's eyes would go wide when he was curious about something. The way they'd look at each other and seem to communicate without words. The way they both smelled like baby lotion and innocence. You're going to be okay, she whispered to them. Someone's going to take good care of you. And when your mommy and daddy come home, you'll be together again. This is just temporary, just until it's safe. Lily started crying, like she understood, like she knew something was wrong. Noah joined her, always following his sister's lead. And Sophia held them both, crying too, until the social workers came to take them away. Ms. Chen, we need to transport the children now. The social worker was a woman in her 50s. Kind eyes, gentle voice. Where are you taking them? Emergency foster placement for tonight. Tomorrow we'll work on finding something more stable. But right now we need to get them somewhere safe. Can I come with you, just to help them settle? I'm afraid not. You're not their legal guardian. And given the circumstances, the fact that you left the state without permission, we need to limit your contact until everything is sorted legally. But they know me. They trust me. Putting them with strangers will traumatize them. Staying with you while James Chen is actively pursuing them would traumatize them more. This is the safest option. The social worker reached for Lily. Sophia pulled back instinctively. Please, 5 more minutes. Let me say goodbye. Properly. The social worker looked at her supervisor, got a nod. 5 minutes, then we really need to go. Sophia held Lily and Noah together, memorized their faces one more time. I love you both so much, she whispered. Your parents love you. We all love you. And we're all fighting to keep you safe. This isn't forever. This is just until it's safe. Until your mommy and daddy come home. Lily grabbed her hair, a habit she'd developed, her way of showing affection. Noah touched her face with his tiny hand. Those serious gray eyes were studying her, like he was trying to understand. Be good, Sophia said. Take care of each other. And remember, you're loved. So, so loved. The social worker reached for them again. This time, Sophia let go. Watched them be carried away by strangers, listened to them cry as the door closed, and collapsed on the floor, sobbing so hard she couldn't breathe. She'd failed them, just like she'd failed Emma, just like she failed everyone she tried to love. Diana arrived an hour later, found Sophia still on the floor, staring at nothing. Come on, let's get you out of here. I can't. I can't leave them. What if they need me? They're being taken care of by professionals, by people who know what they're doing. I knew what I was doing. I loved them. Isn't that enough? Diana helped her up. Love isn't always enough. Sometimes you need systems, resources, legal protection, things love alone can't provide. They walked to Diana's car, drove in silence for a while. Finally, Sophia asked, "Did Marcus and Ava find out? Do they know?" I called the prisons, arranged for them to be told in the morning. With counselors present, this is going to devastate them. They're going to hate me. They're going to understand. Because they did the exact same thing, ran to protect the twins, ended up making things worse. It's a pattern with this family. Diana glanced at her. But you know what? At least the twins are alive. Safe, not with James. That's what matters. Is it? Because right now they're with strangers in a system that's failed so many children before them. Is that really better? Diana didn't have an answer because they both knew the truth. There were no good options, just different kinds of bad, and all of them hurt. The media coverage the next morning was brutal. Harrington twins in state custody after Sophia Chen surrenders. Woman caring for Billionaire's children admits she can't protect them. James Chen, I just want to keep my daughter safe. That last headline made Sophia want to scream. James playing the concerned father, the victim, the man who just wanted to protect his daughter. When the truth was, he'd created her through violation and manipulation. He had no right to call himself her father. But the media loved his narrative. The concerned father denied access to his child by a corrupt, criminal family. The comments were worse. Finally, someone's looking out for these kids. The Harringtons are criminals. James Chen made mistakes, but he's trying. That's more than Marcus and Ava did. Those poor babies, born into such a messed up situation, they deserve better. They deserve their parents, who are in prison for protecting them from a predator. The debate raged. Everyone had an opinion. Nobody asked the twins what they wanted, because they were babies, too young to have opinions, too young to advocate for themselves. They just had to accept whatever adults decided for them. Sophia stayed with Diana for the next few days. Couldn't go home. Couldn't face being alone. She spent most of her time watching news coverage, reading updates, and torturing herself with what ifs. What if she hadn't ordered the genetic testing? What if she'd stayed hidden better? What if she'd fought harder to keep them? Stop, Diana said on day 3. You're spiraling, and it's not helping anyone. I destroyed their family. I deserve to spiral. You made an impossible choice. And yes, it had consequences. But Sophia, those consequences were coming anyway. The secret was always going to get out. James was always going to challenge the custody agreement. This isn't your fault. It feels like my fault. I know, but feelings aren't facts. Diana sat beside her. Marcus and Ava are being released early. The judge approved it. They'll be out in 2 weeks. Sophia's head shot up. 2 weeks? How? Because James's attempted kidnapping proved they were right to run. The judge is showing mercy, reducing their sentence. They'll be home soon. And then what? They come home to children in foster care? To a media circus? To a family torn apart? They come home to children who are safe. To a legal case they can now fight in person. To a chance tour build. Diana squeezed her hand. This isn't the end, Sophia. It's just a really, really hard middle part. But the hard part was about to get harder. Because that afternoon, Diana got a call from the foster placement agency. We have a problem. The foster family we placed the twins with can't keep them. Why not? The media found them. There are photographers outside their house, reporters. They're terrified. They want the children moved immediately. Diana swore. How did the media find them? That placement was supposed to be confidential. Someone leaked it. We don't know who. But it's everywhere now. Photos of the foster parents, their address, everything. So where did the twins go? We're trying to find another placement. But given the media attention, it's difficult. No one wants to take on this kind of scrutiny. They're babies. They need stability. I know, but we're doing the best we can with limited resources. Diana hung up and looked at Sophia. The twins need a new placement, and no one wants to take them because of the media circus. Then I'll take them. You can't. You're still under investigation for leaving the state with them. The court won't approve it. Then what? They just keep getting bounced around, stranger after stranger. Unless we find someone with experience handling high-profile cases, someone who can withstand media scrutiny, someone willing to take on this level of complication. They both thought for a moment. Then Sophia said, "What about a professional foster family, one that specializes in complicated cases? That would cost money, a lot of money. The state won't cover it. Then we use Marcus's money, his offshore accounts, whatever it takes." Diana considered it. It's risky, using money that's technically illegal to pay for childcare, but she pulled out her laptop. I know a family, the Johnsons. They've been fostering for years. They specialize in high-profile, complicated placements, and they don't scare easily. Will they take the twins? Let me call them. Mark and Patricia Johnson were in their late 50s. They'd raised 3 children of their own, all grown now, all successful. They'd been fostering for 12 years, mostly short-term placements, kids in crisis, kids who needed stability until permanent situations could be arranged. They'd never had twins before, and they definitely never had a case as complicated as Lily and Noah Harrington. We know who their parents are, Patricia said when Diana called. Everyone knows. It's been all over the news. That's why I'm calling you. These babies need someone who can handle media attention, someone who won't be scared off by photographers and reporters, someone who can provide stable, loving care in the middle of a circus. And their parents? Will we be able to communicate with them? Once they're released in 2 weeks, yes. Until then, communication will be limited and supervised. Patricia looked at Mark. They'd had this conversation before, about whether to take high-profile cases, about whether the risk was worth it. We'll need security, Mark said, for the babies and for us. We can't have media on our property 24/7. We'll arrange that, whatever you need. And we'll need full medical histories. both children. Any information about genetic conditions, allergies, anything that could affect their care. Diana hesitated. That's complicated, but we'll provide what we can. Then, yes, Patricia said. We'll take them, however long they need us. The twins were transferred to the Johnsons 3 days later. Sophia asked if she could be there, be part of the transition, help them settle. The social workers said no. Too much disruption. The twins needed to bond with their new caregivers without conflicting attachments. So Sophia stayed home while the babies she'd loved were handed off to yet another set of strangers. This is killing me, she told Diana, not knowing if they're okay, not being able to help. I know, but you'll see them again. Once things settle, once the legal situation is clearer. And if it never settles, if James wins, if Marcus and Ava don't get custody back, then we keep fighting for as long as it takes. But Sophia was so tired of fighting, tired of impossible choices and terrible consequences, tired of loving people and losing them. She was starting to understand why Marcus had built walls around his heart. Why had Ava been so guarded when they first met? Love hurts, caring hurts, attachment hurt. Maybe being cold and closed off was the only way to survive. The first week at the Johnsons was hard. Patricia sent updates through Diana, short messages about how the twins were adjusting. Lily cried most of the first night, looking for familiar faces. Noah stopped eating well. He's grieving. Both babies are showing signs of attachment trauma. We're working with them gently. Day 4, small improvements. Lily smiled this morning. Noah ate a full meal. Day 7, starting to settle. They're bonding with us. It's slow but steady. Sophia read each update and cried. The twins were moving on, learning to love new people, adapting, which was good, healthy, what they needed to do. But it also meant they were forgetting her, forgetting Sophia, forgetting the months they'd spent together. She was becoming just another face they wouldn't remember, another person who loved them and then disappeared. Diana arranged for Sophia to receive videos. The Johnsons filmed the twins every few days, short clips showing their progress. Lily crawling, learning to pull herself up, laughing at something Mark did. Noah is studying a toy, those serious gray eyes focused intently, eventually figuring out how it worked. They looked happy, healthy, safe. Everything Sophia had wanted for them. But watching the videos hurt more than she'd expected, because she wasn't in them, wasn't part of their lives anymore. She'd gone from primary caregiver to distant observer, from the person who knew all their quirks and needs to someone who got secondhand updates. I thought protecting them would feel good, she told Diana one night. I thought making sure they were safe would be enough. But it's not. It's not enough. I miss them so much it physically hurts. That's love, Diana said simply. It always hurts, but it's worth it. Is it? Because right now it doesn't feel worth it. It feels like I gave up everything and got nothing back. You got the knowledge that they're alive and safe, that James doesn't have them. That is when Marcus and Avacom come home, there will be children waiting for them. That's not nothing. Sophia wanted to believe her. But late at night, alone in Diana's guest room, she couldn't escape the feeling that she'd failed. Again. Always again. Then came the news about James's arrest attempt. Diana called Sophia at 2 a.m., voice urgent. James is moving tonight. Daniel caught wind of it. He's planning to take the twins from the Johnsons. How? The Johnsons have security. He has people, professionals. They're going to try anyway. Daniel's mobilizing, getting police involved, but we need to make sure the Johnsons know. They need to be ready. I should be there. I should help protect them. You can't. You're still legally restricted from contact. But Daniel will handle it. He's good at his job. What if Daniel doesn't get there in time? What if James? Then we deal with it. But right now, all we can do is wait. Sophia couldn't wait, couldn't sit still, couldn't do nothing while the twins she loved were in danger. She got in her car and drove toward the Johnsons' house. Diana would be furious. The court would probably charge her with violating custody orders. But she didn't care. If James was coming for those babies, she was going to be there to stop him. She arrived at 3:15 a.m. The neighborhood was dark, quiet, peaceful. Too peaceful. She parked down the street and watched the Johnsons' house. The lights were on inside, movement in the windows. The Johnsons were awake, aware, prepared. Good. Then she saw another car pull up, headlights off, engine quiet. Two men got out. One of them looked exactly like the photos she'd seen of James Chen. Her heart stopped. He was really here, really trying to take them. She called 911. There's a kidnapping in progress. Two men attempting to take children from a home on Maple Street. Before she could finish, another figure appeared. Daniel Cross. He stepped out of the shadows between houses. Calm, professional, dangerous. That's far enough, gentlemen. James stopped, saw Daniel, saw the unmarked police cars that suddenly appeared with lights on. He tried to run. The police caught him within seconds. Sophia watched from her car as they searched for James, found zip ties in his pocket, duct tape, a bag with baby supplies and something that looked like sedatives. Everything needed to kidnap two babies and disappear. She called Diana. They got him. James is arrested. The twins are safe. Thank God. Where are you? Parked down the street. I couldn't stay away. I had to. I know. Get out of there before the police see you. You're not supposed to be anywhere near that house. Sophia drove away before anyone could spot her. But not before she saw Patricia Johnson standing in the doorway, holding Lily and Noah, both safe and unharmed. The twins were okay. James was in custody. Everything was finally going to be okay. The arrest made national news by morning. James Chen arrested attempting to kidnap Harrington twins. The story exploded. Every channel, every website, every social media platform, photos of James in handcuffs, video of him being put in a police car, interviews with neighbors who heard the commotion. And finally, public opinion turned. He's a predator. Always was. Marcus and Ava were right to run. This proves it. Those poor parents, locked up for protecting their children from this. Release them now. They deserve to be with their babies. The pressure on the justice system was immediate and intense. By that afternoon, Diana had news. The judge is granting early release. Marcus and Ava will be out in 48 hours. Sophia started crying. Really? They're coming home? They're coming home. And the first thing they're going to want is to see their children. And the custody case? What about James's motions? Withdrawn, all of them. His lawyers dropped him the second he was arrested, and the prosecution is filing federal kidnapping charges. James Chen is going to prison for a long time. It was over. Finally, truly over. James couldn't hurt them anymore. couldn't use the legal system to terrorize them, couldn't claim any rights to children he'd tried to kidnap. What about Lily's genetics? Sophia asked. Does it still matter? Legally? No. The termination of rights is permanent, regardless of biology. Marcus and Ava are her parents. Period. End of story. Sophia collapsed on the couch. Relief flooded through her so intensely she felt dizzy. They're safe. The twins are safe. Everyone's safe. Yes, finally. After everything, yes. 48 hours later, Marcus and Ava walked out of prison. Sophia and Diana were there to meet them. They looked different, thinner, older, exhausted, but alive, free, ready to fight for their family. Marcus saw Sophia first. She braced herself for anger, for blame, for accusations about the genetic testing and everything that followed. Instead, he hugged her. Thank you, he said, his voice rough with emotion. Thank you for keeping them safe, for protecting them when we couldn't, for loving them. I'm so sorry, Sophia sobbed. About the testing, about the leak, about everything going public. I never meant. I know. And it's okay. It's all okay now. He pulled back to look at her. Where are they? Where are Lily and Noah? With the Johnsons, a foster family. They're safe, happy, waiting for you. Then let's go get our children. The drive to the Johnsons' house was quiet. Marcus and Ava held hands in the back seat. Both of them were shaking with anticipation and fear. What if they don't remember us? Ava whispered. Then we'll make new memories, Marcus said. We'll show them every day that we're their parents, that never stopped loving them, that we never stopped fighting for them. What if Lily asks about her genetics someday, about not being yours biologically? Marcus was quiet for a moment. Then I'll tell her the truth, that biology doesn't make a family, that I chose her before she was born, and I'll keep choosing her every day for the rest of my life, that she's mine in every way that matters. And if she doesn't believe you, then I'll prove it every single day, until she does. They pulled up to the Johnsons' house. Patricia and Mark were waiting on the porch. Behind them, visible through the window, were two babies playing in a living room. Lily and Noah, 10 months old now, bigger than Marcus and Ava remembered, more independent, but theirs, still theirs. Marcus and Ava got out of the car slowly, like they were afraid this moment might disappear if they moved too fast. Patricia smiled. They're ready to meet you. We've been showing them videos every day. They know your faces, your voices. Do they, do they understand? Ava asked. They understand that you're important, special, that you love them. Patricia held open the door. The rest will come with time. Marcus and Ava walked inside. Lily and Noah looked up from their toys. For a moment, nobody moved. Then Lily smiled, that bright, fearless smile she got from Ava. And Noah's eyes widened with recognition, those gray eyes that were exactly like Marcus's. Mama, Noah said, his first word, the one Patricia had been working on with him for weeks. Dada, Lily added, reaching toward them. Marcus and Ava both started crying, dropped to their knees, opened their arms, and the twins came to them, without hesitation, without fear, like they'd been waiting for this moment their whole short lives. Marcus held Noah, Ava held Lily, then they switched, needing to hold both children, needing to feel them real and safe and theirs. I'm so sorry, Marcus kept saying. I'm so sorry we left you. I'm so sorry we couldn't be here. I'm so sorry. We're here now. Ava added through tears. We're here, and we're never leaving again. Never. You're stuck with us forever. Lily grabbed Marcus's face with both hands, studied him seriously, then smiled and pressed her forehead to us. Noah wrapped his arms around Ava's neck, held on tight, like he was afraid she'd disappear again if he let go. And Sophia watched from the doorway, crying harder than she'd cried through this entire ordeal. Because this was what she'd been fighting for. This moment, this reunion, this family. It had cost them everything. Prison, pain, months of separation, public humiliation, legal battles. But they'd survived. And now, finally, they were whole again. Patricia and Mark gave them privacy for an hour. When they came back, they found Marcus and Ava on the floor, playing with the twins, laughing, crying, making up for lost time. They're ready to go home with you, Patricia said. We've packed all their things, their favorite toys, the blankets they sleep with, everything to make the transition easier. Thank you, Ava said, for taking care of them, for loving them when we couldn't. It was our honor. Patricia wiped her eyes. They're special children. You're lucky to have them. We know, Marcus said, holding both twins close. We won't forget it, won't take it for granted. Every day, from now on, is a gift. They loaded the twins into the car seats that Sophia had bought, packed the bags that Patricia had prepared, said goodbye to the Johnsons, who'd loved their children when they couldn't, and drove home. To the mansion they'd left behind, the life they'd abandoned, the future they'd almost lost. It's over, Ava said as they pulled into the driveway. All of it, James, the running, the fear. It's finally over. No, Marcus corrected gently. It's not over. It's just beginning. The real part, the part where we actually get Toby. Parents. Where do we get to watch them grow up? Where we get to build the family we always wanted. Without secrets? Without secrets, Marcus agreed. Lily's genetics don't matter. They never did. She's ours. They're both ours. And nothing, not biology, not James, not the media, not anything, is ever going to change that. They carried the twins inside, put them down in the nursery that had been waiting empty for months, and stood there watching them explore their new home, secure in the knowledge that this time there was no threat waiting. No custody battles, no predators, no running, just a family. Finally, completely, undeniably together. But as Marcus and Ava settled back into their lives, as they learned to be parents without fear, as they slowly rebuilt everything they'd lost, someone else was watching. Someone who'd been following this whole story with growing anger. Someone who thought the Harrington family had gotten away with too much for too long. Someone who was about to make sure that even though James was in prison, even though Marcus and Ava had their children back, their troubles were far from over. Because revenge doesn't always come from the people you expect. Sometimes it comes from the people you've forgotten about entirely. And this person? They'd been planning their revenge for 5 years, just waiting for the right moment to strike. And that moment was coming soon. Tell me something. Do you think Marcus and Ava have finally found peace? Do you think their family is finally safe? Or do you think there's one more threat waiting? Drop a comment with where you're watching from and tell me, if you'd survived everything Marcus and Ava survived, would you trust that it was finally over? Or would you always be looking over your shoulder? Because in the next episode, you'll find out what happens when the past doesn't stay buried. when old enemies don't stay defeated, and when the price of happiness is constant vigilance. Marcus and Ava are home. The twins are safe. James is in prison. But someone else is just getting started.